Hello, friends, and welcome to the Vibrate Higher podcast. I am your host, Joelle, and today's episode is really a heartfelt one. I was so inspired to share with you an epiphany that I had in my self-development walk as an entrepreneur and just as a woman who is always constantly aware of her evolution and always trying to lean in and learn from it. So I hope you enjoy it. So I want to take you back to a moment that I had a week or so ago that inspired me to record this podcast episode. So picture it, Sicily. I was lying on my sofa, giving total defeated energy because I was in a bit of a slump. And I know that you all can feel me on this. For me, as a new entrepreneur, I am struggling with just, questioning everything, not only about myself, but also about what I'm building with Zenergy and what it's going to be and what the steps are to get it to what I want to be. And I feel like in life, even if you are not an entrepreneur, if you are deciding on a career path, changing a career path, going through anything, grieving something, or dealing with something hard that you're struggling with in life, this message is for you. So I'm lying on my sofa, just completely just unmotivated and defeated and tired and just in a space. And I am watching The Bear on Hulu. And so I'm like halfway, I had watched like a couple episodes. And so I had gotten to, this is all in one night, I had gotten to season 3, episode 1, which is called Tomorrow. And I'm admiring the main character, whose name is Carmi, and how obsessed he is with his craft and building the restaurant called The Bear that he wanted from scratch, and how he had to evolve as a person and be something different. And so I'm watching this particular episode. It kind of starts out where it's the morning after his soft opening. So he had basically opened the restaurant for the first time and had diners in, and it was this big thing. And so the next morning, he's up early, it's dawn, and people are just stirring, and he's standing out reflecting, looking out his window. And he kind of goes on this reflection that takes you through all of these pivotal moments in his life that got him from where he was to here that day, waking up basically accomplishing something so big that he had been dreaming about. And so as I'm sitting on my couch, literally defeated, I get so I'm overcome with emotion, something heavy in me just melted and turned, and it resonated with me. And it clicked. And so what really caught me was, in one of the memories he was going over, there was a relative of his that saw back, years ago in his younger age, he was a young adult. She saw the talent in him. And she also, because she was a relative, she was a part of this crazy, life that he had, this family upbringing, which all of us have family drama. We all do in some way, shape, or form. There's some familial crap that we deal with growing up. But she kind of saw it, and she looked at him and she was like, you keep going. Basically kind of telling him don't look back. You just keep going. And so during this reflection, we're taken to a moment where he's, devoted and focused on building his business. And he's thinking through times in his life, and he writes on some tape on his station in the kitchen, keep fucking going is what he writes. And that just, when I saw that, I could not help but be overcome with complete tears. I'm sobbing on my couch. And so it got me to thinking in that moment, as I evolve daily on this journey of building a business from scratch, like, who do I have to be? When I look at the main character, like, who did he have to be to get to where he was on that day, the next day after his big opening of his restaurant? Like, who do I have to be in building what I want, in accomplishing my goal? So who do you have to be to get through what you're working through, to accomplish what you are trying to do? Who do you have to be? For me, 4 months ago, I was a girl with a corporate job and a side hustle. Like, who do I have to be a 7-figure business owner? So it got me to thinking, when you think about all of the greats, well, some of the greats that I'm going to touch on, when you think about some of the greats, right? Like, you've got Kobe, LeBron, Steph, Beyonce, Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, like, they had to become a different version of themselves, a version that got up hours early before everyone else to get shots up in the gym. They had to become a person like Beyonce, who ran around the track in heels as a teenager, in high heels, singing as practice, while her peers and her friends were probably waking up on Saturday mornings, eating cereal and talking about boys. She was running around the track in heels, singing as practice. She had to become a different version of herself. Look at Bill Gates, look at Steve Jobs. Like, they had to become people that, like, they had to eat, sleep, and shit their craft to become the Apple and the Microsoft that we know today. And so I was thinking, like, to the untrained eye, we can make it about the thing, quote unquote, right? When it's not about the thing, it's not about the one goal or, the thing you're grieving or the thing you're working through or the thing that feels difficult. It's truly about the person. It's about you and who you have to be. So I want you to think about the thing that you really want. And I want you to ask yourself, who do I need to become? Maybe you can journal that. Maybe you can do it in your phone notes. Maybe you can just ask it, and you'll get the answers back now. If you're listening to me while you're doing something, maybe you're driving or you're cooking or whatever it is that you're doing, but ask yourself and let your subconscious mind give you the answers. And when you get that answer, then the next step is you want to align with your future self, that version of yourself, by developing a routine. So let's talk more about that. So once you get that answer of who I need to become, then you want to do these 3 things. These are my recommendations. And this is the process that I took myself through that night when I felt this like deep pull as I was, coming out of my like defeated energy funk that I was in that random Friday night with like, a half a bottle of wine down. I started like writing because I kind of got this like channel of like, this is what I need to do. So number 1, you have to expand your container. So I have 3 things. Number 1, you have to expand your container. So what I mean by this, I heard this explained so beautifully on a podcast that I was listening to. And the way that the host explained it, and this was talking about something in a different context, but I'm using it here because I'm hoping that it'll hit. So if you are, let's say you have an 8-ounce glass in front of you on the counter and you pull out a gallon water bottle. You start pouring water from that gallon water bottle into an 8-ounce glass. Once that glass fills up with water, what happens to the rest of the gallon? If you continue pouring and you don't stop, like water is going to go everywhere, all over the counter, all over the floor. And it's not like you can like save that water and drink that water too. It's gone because the glass was not big enough to hold it. And so what I think a lot of us on this self-development journey, what we don't fully understand is that when we have something that we desire that is big, there's a goal, there's something we want, and maybe it's not big. It could just be, something that you want and you don't have it. You've been wanting it for a while. A lot of times we're not creating it. It's not being realized in our reality because our container is not big enough. We, as the vessel, as the glass, we can only hold a certain amount of water because we have not grown big enough to hold more. So we have not expanded ourselves. We have not let go of past insecurities. We have not let go of limiting beliefs, of bitterness, of hurt, of unworthiness, of all of these things that keep us small. We have to expand the container. So in this quest to be the person that you need to become, to have whatever it is that you really want, you have to expand your container. You want to be able to hold the ideas that get you there, the abundance, the love, the money. You have to be able to do more, receive more, and to hold more. And so to do that, you have to clear out space. You have to forgive. You have to literally clear out space, like clear out clutter in your life, clean your closet, like refold the clothes in your drawers, like actually declutter, like allow yourself space to truly hold more. So like for me, if I want a scalable 7-figure coaching business, I have to expand to be the person that can hold that. I can actually hold that, not in a sense of like the day-to-day operations of a 7-figure business, but on subconsciously, can I hold that type of expansion? Is my container built big enough to be able to process that amount of success? Or am I going to self-sabotage because I have not worked through things and let go of things? If you want to be in a committed, monogamous, healthy, long-term relationship or a marriage, you have to become the person that can actually be and do all of the things that are required of you to be able to sustain a relationship like that. So you can't be the 8-ounce glass that can't hold all of the water that comes along with that type of relationship, because that as that glass, you have trust issues, you have abandonment issues, you're bitter, you're always tearing yourself down, your partner down. Like you have to actually be a bigger container to be able to sustain that thing that you want. If you want a healthy body, you have to be able to hold space for a healthy lifestyle. You want to feel better and you want your joints and your body to move better. You want to be in perfect health. Well, you have to eat right. You have to take care of the vessel. So you need to be able to expand it to hold more. You have to do things differently and change that lifestyle. If you want money or financial abundance, you have to be the person that can actually hold that and sustain it. We always hear people say, most lottery winners that win the lottery, they go broke within X amount of years, whatever the stat is nowadays. I don't know. But the premise behind that is they had not expanded their container enough to hold that type of wealth. Subconsciously, they couldn't do it. And so because they couldn't do it, then your mind takes you to things that lose it. You're spending it here. You're frivolously doing this. You invest in something, that loses money, or whatever happens to people who win the lottery and lose it, whatever their path was, truly on the subconscious level, it's because they had not expanded their container. So that is step number 1. Once you get the answer to who do I have to be to have that thing that I really, really want, 1, expand your container, meaning expand who you are. Okay, step number 2. Once you understand who you need to be, once you define whatever that is, step number 2, you have to be able to pivot from scarcity to abundance. That involves watching your thoughts to quickly shift when you need it, because the person, that version of you that has the business, the marriage, the money, the health, the lifestyle, whatever it is that you want, pretty certain they're living in an abundance mindset. And so now you have to be able to understand when you are not on an abundance vibration, when you're coming from scarcity, and you have to know when you're there and be able to pivot quickly. And not just scarcity as it relates to financial abundance, scarcity as it relates to everything in life. So you want to constantly and deliberately cultivate living in abundance, on an abundant vibration. That means you're a giver. You're a giver unconditionally. You're a giver organically, just because, and you're giving because you are so abundant in whatever it is, be it time, love, laughter, finances, whatever it is, because you know that you have more, and there's enough for everyone. So you are able to be a giver like that. All right. Step three, or the third. Okay. So the third thing that you have to do once you have defined who you need to be to get the things that you want is understand that obstacles are there to point you to breakthroughs. This is all about perspective, y'all. Obstacles can be viewed as indicators of your inner thoughts and fears. I'm going to say that again. Obstacles are truly indicators of your inner thoughts and fears. So lean into those and learn from them. You have the free will to learn. You can choose to learn from that obstacle, quote unquote obstacle, or not. You can choose to be a victim. But the version of you that has what you truly desire, more than likely, when things came in their way, they were not a victim. They reframed that and they leaned into whatever they have created, whatever that quote unquote obstacle is, and they learned from it. So that is item number 3. Understand that your obstacles are there to point you to breakthroughs. And I said I had 3 things. I actually have 4. I'm sorry, y'all. I thought it was 3. Here's the 4th and last thing. Mindset over everything. I really need a t-shirt. Like, if anyone that's listening has like a t-shirt company, please email me at Joel, Joell at Zenergy Group, because I need a t-shirt that says like mindset over, like the line, everything, or like mindset versus everybody. Kind of like how there's those shirts that say like Detroit versus everybody or whatever it is. We need mindset versus everybody, or mindset over everything. But that's number 4. Because truly that's what it boils down to. When you have decided who you need to be, mindset trumps everything. How you approach your day to day, the things that show up, the things that don't show up, all of it boils down to mindset. So you turn like that hustling, I have to do this, I gotta work until I'm burned out. You turn that into privilege. That's a mindset shift. I get to wake up every day and live my dream life. This is me. I, Joelle, get to wake up every day and live my dream life, because years ago, for the last, I want to say 2 to 3 years, all I wanted to do was be able to get up and work for myself. I wanted to be able to create something, impact people, build this business that's been like brewing in my soul for years. I wanted to just do that. I didn't want to have to focus on like answering to people and reporting and having people report to me and being accountable for this or that and some other stuff that it didn't light me up. I wanted to do this. And so am I at the scalable 7-figure business yet? No, I'm climbing that ladder, but I would be remiss if I was not grateful every day for the fact that I get to wake up every day and figure out how to build that. That's a mindset shift. Not I have to do this to pay the bills. I have to do X. I have to create this. I have to figure this out. No, I get to figure it out. So those are my 4 steps. This process can work in any lane: your health, your career, your relationships, your finances. Remember, it's not about the thing. It is about you expanding and aligning. Master this formula, these 4 steps, and you will always get the thing you desire, because God, source, infinite intelligence is always riding with you and for you. So my challenge to you is to get clear and definite about what you want. And when you figure that out, keep fucking going. Build that muscle of keep it goingness, of self-trust. Show up for yourself. Bet on yourself. Keep fucking going no matter what. Keep going. And again, not towards that thing. Don't make it about the thing. Keep going in being the person that you need to be. Keep going on constantly expanding your container, on aligning with the things that you want from a place of peace and perspective. Keep fucking going. That is your role. You do your part and let God, let infinite intelligence, let source do the rest. Because on the other side of that is everything that you've been looking for. It's the solution, the next big break, the idea, the phone call, the connection, is whatever it is that's needed. That's on the other side of you doing your half of the work, which is deciding what you want and who you have to be and being that person and not looking back. Just as a recap, the 4 steps are: 1, expand your container. 2, shift from scarcity to abundance. 3, understand that obstacles are there to point you to breakthroughs. And 4, mindset over everything. So that is what I had for you guys for this episode. It was on my heart to give you because I was so in the thick of it. And this has been like something that I have really been working through over this past week or two. So I wanted to share it with you. And I hope that you are vibrating higher now than you were when you came. I wish you so much love and light. And I will see you again soon.